3, 2, 1.
And we're live.
And we are live.
I wondered if you were going to say unalive because it's Halloween.
Welcome, Halloween fiends,
You want to take it again?
to today's very, very special Halloween special. This is one of your three hosts, Chris.
This is Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I did the thing.
Hi, Sydney.
Hi.
Question, do you have any updates of anything bad luck related that may have happened to you since our Friday the 13th episode?
You've been...
Oh,
I know there's twice and thrice, but I don't know what the term is for 13.
no.
Have you mean third triced bad luck?
No abnormal bad luck. No.
No.
Just normal baseline luck?
Yeah, just normal, like my life is trash and I hate it here luck. Yeah. Real healthy. I'm in a real healthy mind space.
No shadows lurking in your...
Actually, pretty good look because I'm listening to a really good audiobook that I would rather be listening to right now.
Mm-hmm.
Than my melodic voice?
I mean, you could, if you were reading the book, that would be better than what we're doing. Anyway, normal luck.
Present the book.
It's called American Dirt.
This is now an audiobook
Excellent.
podcast.
What would that even be? Like, would we just silently listen to the audiobook? I think that's copyright infringement.
Yeah. I mean, he'd just read the book.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how...
Can you just make an audiobook?
Yeah. I don't know how that works, Chris.
You know, I don't think technically you can, but there is an organization called LibriVox that makes audiobooks for books that don't have audio versions, and they make them available for people with vision impairment. But they might be breaking the law, so probably like a Robin Hood type thing. Breaking the law, but for the good.
Sometimes you got to do a Robin Hood. I've always said that. Always.
Like the first thing you say instead of hello.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
For those of you who can hear the weird slurping in the background, Freddie has something stuck to his feet.
That's just because he wants to be close to us because he just loves us so much.
Maybe you stepped in some Halloween candy. So, Sydney, we got you to do a Halloween thing today.
Yep.
Can you explain to us what we sent you to?
Okay, first of all, though, I went outside twice today and I did two things because I also saw the partial eclipse.
Well done.
We need
So,
to
bonus.
rename the podcast. I went outside today twice.
2 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Kiwi's haunted house. But it's actually a haunted trail, so false advertising.
Like there's no house you go into?
It was like kind of a house. Part of it was a house. It was complicated.
Is it a greenhouse?
It's like a plant nursery.
Okay.
I don't think it might be a greenhouse. I don't know. It's a plant nursery.
Just pulling up the event description here.
You don't have it memorized?
No.
Wow.
Only by song, but I can't sing for this podcast.
Why not? Is that for your other podcast?
Yep.
Yes. Kiwi's Haunted House. $6 to $10 ticket price, so very nicely within our price range. Are you ready for a spooktacular Halloween? Join us for our annual Kiwi's Haunted House. Come to the nursery and see our trail system and growing house transformed for this eerily good time. Are you brave enough to walk through our trails? Let's hope you're not scared of the dark. Children under 10 are free or food bank donation per person. Tickets will include a small commemorative flashlight. Sydney, where's your flashlight?
I gave it to Elizabeth immediately.
Okay.
Immediately.
Well done.
It wasn't even a flashlight. It was like a little LED keychain.
Yeah.
Please dress for the weather and wear proper footwear. Did you do both those things, Sydney?
No,
So you were cold the whole time?
I was cold the
Oh,
whole
okay.
time.
What were you wearing?
I was wearing this and then like my half jacket, not my full jacket.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to be overheated.
Did you at least have the proper footwear?
I had runners.
Okay.
Yeah. But I wish I wore like warmer shoes.
Did you do much running from the ghouls?
I didn't, but I wanted to be prepared.
I do want to point out that when we first brought up this event to Sydney as one of the options she could do, she was like, I'll do this, but someone needs to go with me. And I was, because she's like, in case I get scared. And I was like, you realize it's for children, right?
I might get scared though. It could be scary.
And we sent you to the one that was child appropriate instead of the scary one later in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a scary one?
Yeah, there's a scarier one.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Happening right now.
Oh, that would probably be horrible. Because, like, so what it is I did actually scare Elizabeth because we got there. And so our thing said 6 to 6:30.
Yeah.
So I told Giselle, I was like, I don't know if we need to be there. Like, I don't know if we have a specific time slot. So, like, maybe we'll aim to be there by, like, before 6. And then we got there, like, right at 6. And there was just a big line, so I just got in the line.
Yep.
And she was like, so what do we do? Where do we go? Like, are we supposed to be here? I was like, I don't know anything. I know as much as you.
Mhm.
Because I forgot that you guys weren't coming, so I didn't read the event information because I'm not used to having to know things. So I just didn't know anything. And we're standing in the line, and Elizabeth got bored because she's 7, and
Yep.
she was like, is this it? Is this all we're doing? And I went, yep, this is the whole thing. And she looked so upset. She's like, I was like, why? What would be my motive to take you to stand in a line somewhere? So I chose Trick all night.
Well
because
done.
I'm the worst auntie.
Mm.
Mhm. So, yep, you had gone with Giselle, her sister, and our
Yeah.
niece Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So you turned it into a family trip.
Yeah, family trip. Yeah, the lineup was okay. And then I didn't know like how scary it was going to be, but you go through like into a little tent, and then it's like just a voice box recording that tells you to like not trip and on the trails or anything. And then you walk past there, and this is like a big open plant place,
Yep.
like acres of land kind of thing. And then the first thing that we saw, I like kind of gasped, and I made them both jump because I saw goats. I
The
saw
ghosts?
so many goats.
Oh,
There was a bunch of goats, and they looked so soft.
were they goats in ghost costumes?
No, they were just normal goats, and they were going bah and doing goat things, and they were just the best. And then we were looking at them, and Giselle leans into Elizabeth and goes, "Those used to be children."
Just like in Pinocchio.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So then you go a bit further, and then there is like a house structure, and that's the start of the haunted house.
Okay.
So then we went in there, and there are like actors and stuff. So I was a bit stressed because I was like, oh, like, I don't fucking do jump scares.
You hate actors.
But they hate actors. But they weren't jumping out, and so I didn't know if that's because I was using a child as a human shield, or if like, it was just the early one. So I can see how like late at night they could make it scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then for us it was fine. Yeah, so you go in, and it's like a big maze, and it's like a house. This part is like a house part, so it's dark. And then there are actors, but they weren't jumping out and scaring us. So I don't know if they maybe check for like different groups, and they are like communicating to each other. Hey, there's kids coming through. Hey, there's not kids coming through. But there was a really little girl ahead of us that she had enough with some of the actors, and they had to pick her up and carry her. But Elizabeth did really well. And so we walked past, it's like themed. So it was like a spider theme. And then you go into a plant nursery, and I don't know what the next theme was, like weird farm horror, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next room that I knew you guys would love was dolls. They just have Barbies like strung from the ceiling. And I was
Nice.
like,
You
"Fuck
love
this.
dolls."
Gross. And then the next room is like worse dolls. I was like, oh no. And so Elizabeth didn't like the worst doll room. And she tried to run forward because it was creepy. And then past the door, there was like an even bigger like mannequin thing that scared her. So she was a bit scared at that. But once we got past that part, you go out into like the forest. And
Speaking of dolls, we'll make sure you get yours from the Friday the 13th episode.
I think that doll should stay here. I think this is a good home for that doll.
Mhm.
Personally, I feel. So anyway, then we went into the forest, and then it's like this huge trail that you hike, and I could see how
Did they have lights out there?
they had like little tiny candles, and then you get the commemorative flashlight, which would not do anything for you if it was dark.
Right.
But I could see how like probably at nighttime they probably go crazy with like running through the forest and like scaring people.
Yeah.
But for us, it was just sort of like a Halloween walk from that point.
Okay.
It wasn't that scary.
Did they have anything on the trails other than the little candles? Like was
Yeah,
there...
like
Okay.
decorate. And it was like still themed. So it was like,
Nice.
I don't know what the next one was. And then there was a clown one that Elizabeth also didn't like. And as we were leaving like the clown trail, there was like another clown coming back to join, like that just got off her supper break. That I just thought was funny.
Were they scary clowns?
Yeah, like scary horror clowns.
Like, were they covered in blood and had sharp teeth?
Not like, well, they had like sharp teeth, but they weren't like covered in blood.
Okay.
Yeah, like medium scary. She's 7, so.
A level 2 clown.
Level 2 clown. Yeah, she did not like the clowns, so I don't think she's going to have an insane clown posse face later
That's
in her
fair.
life. Yeah. And then there was like a vampire theme and yeah.
What kind of vamp? Was it like Twilight?
Oh, and there was
True
witches.
Blood?
There was witches too.
Well done. Was it the green skin witches with pointy hats and warts on their noses?
Pointy hats, but no green skin.
Okay.
I think that the green skin is just a wicked thing.
Yes.
I don't think that's...
Well, that used to be how they
March.
would depict them like a long time ago in like
Yeah.
folklore and stuff.
all green skin.
Yeah.
All witches.
Yeah.
Not just the wicked.
Correct.
Okay, got it. Now we know.
Mm-hmm.
Very different from Martians.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they have warts on their noses.
Oh, yeah. The warts.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Dem warts.
Only witches get warts. No one else ever
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
gets them. Sydney's getting a little self-conscious here.
Rude.
It's time to throw her in some water, see if
Mhm.
she floats.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna be silence for the rest of the podcast.
We need to do the Monty Python one. Does she weigh as much as the duck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Fetch
Yeah.
the metric duck.
Uh-huh.
Witches and then vampires. And then that's the end of the trail.
Nice. How long would you say that the whole thing took you?
I did not took the time at all.
Okay.
Yeah, ever. Oh, I guess we got there at 6 and we were out by like 7:05.
Okay.
So
Did
like
it-
an hour.
Did it feel like it took a long time?
It did on the trail because it was not a very even trail and my feet were cold.
Fair.
And I wish that we had spent more time with the goats.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I could, we probably had like a 10% goat time, 90% haunted house time ratio.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably do 50-50.
I think
next
you would
time.
just flip that ratio
Yeah,
if you were in
Just-
charge.
90% goats. There, I took a ton of goat pictures.
Did you circle back to see if you could start over with the goats?
No, because we knew that if we did that, she'd want to do the haunted house again and we had to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Giselle had to get home by 8. And then we went to Jack's for ice cream still.
Nice.
Yeah.
So was Giselle scared at all?
I tried to scare Giselle several times, but she didn't go for it.
How many times did she scare you?
None.
So
0.
Lies.
the only person who really got scared was Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I could have done that by myself. But then I would have had to stand in line by myself for like 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I also wanted to complain while we were standing in line, but Elizabeth was complaining and I was like,
she stole your bet.
we can't have, yeah, she did a little bit.
I'm getting flashbacks to our upcoming Christmas episode where you griped about being in line.
That sucked though. We were just in line and there was no Wi-Fi. It's one thing to be in line. It's another thing to be in line with no Wi-Fi.
Was there Wi-Fi out at Kiwi's?
I didn't check.
So,
But because we were moving,
Oh.
the line was, me and Chris were stood in the same place under the same staircase for 1,000 years.
Okay.
We're still there.
We're still there.
Recording from under the stairs. So usually these haunted houses have teenagers,
Yeah, this was like little kids.
like as the scare actors. Was it like all grown-ups doing the scare acting volunteering, or was it like a bunch of teenagers?
They all had
or-
masks.
Oh. You
They
couldn't
were
tell
like-
by their body?
Well, they were like, I don't know, teen to adult sized.
Hmm.
Okay.
Can you tell the difference between a teenager and an adult if they're like in a costume?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
the way they move.
I'm just not that observant.
I was going to say, it depends.
Yeah, like they were all in baggy Halloween
Yeah.
costumes.
Like,
I couldn't even tell you which ones were ladies and which ones weren't ladies, except for the witch was the lady.
that's because gender is a spectrum, Sydney.
All right. But I'm just saying, like, I don't, they're in baggy Halloween costumes. I have no idea.
Yep.
They were like, I feel like teens are like adult height already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they
So-
don't have adult build.
But they were in baggy Halloween costumes.
You can still tell.
They were just shaped like murderers. I don't know.
Murderers in this haunted house?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This one guy had like a scary mask and like a baseball bat.
Oh.
And then, yeah, we like rounded the corner.
Was
and
he an
just saw-
umpire?
No, he was like just a scary murder guy.
Hmm.
And we rounded the corner and saw him. Giselle said, "Don't scare us, we have a child." And I was telling Giselle how I get a little bit uppity in haunted houses sometimes. Like one of the years that I did Edmonton when they were at the Paramount Theater,
Mhm.
I just fucking had enough of this haunted house like halfway through. And I rounded the corner and I saw the werewolf like getting ready to jump up and scare us. And I just said, enough! And he just sat back down.
You dog whispered that werewolf.
Yeah. So I didn't scream at anybody at this haunted house. I didn't
Excellent.
actually scream at all.
Good.
Yeah.
Was
a
it all
zero scream night.
Elizabeth just pointing people and being like, enough, putting them in their place?
She didn't say enough to anybody. I don't think she's that assertive yet.
Mm.
Yeah, we're working on it.
You're taking her out, you're training her.
Mm-hmm.
I did scream at someone out of the car window on the way over here, so.
Hopefully somebody you know.
No,
Oh,
stranger. But
okay.
he screamed at me first.
Were you
Oh.
catcalling them?
No, we were trying to turn and he jaywalked and then had the fucking nerve. This is like near your neighborhood, so if you see this guy, fuck this guy. And he jaywalked and looked at us and screamed, I'm walking here. So then I rolled down the window and said, walk faster. And Elizabeth was like, what are you doing? So she might not want to hang out with me again anytime soon.
I didn't know we had any New Yorkers in the neighborhood.
You do.
Hey, I'm
asshole.
walking here.
So,
It
and then
was
I
me.
rolled the window back up and was like, I can't hear you. So I got the last scream.
Well done.
Yeah. I don't start a scream fight, but I'll sure as shit finish it.
Mm.
So,
You know you're going to get home and you're going to be unlocking the door to your home and then a shadow will fall behind you and then he's going to scream at you.
should have put those solar lights up today to avoid that. Unfortunate.
So you did bring up Deadmonton House. How would you say the decor compared with Deadmonton House or Dark even? Because you did Dark one year as well.
Flashback to our dark episode.
I don't really remember how those houses look because I was running and screaming for my
I
life.
see.
So this actually, I think they have to put more effort in because you're not screaming and running.
Right.
You know, you have a little look. So they hung like little scary things from trees and all that kind of stuff. So it's probably more effort.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think that they have to put more effort into the decorations.
Yeah.
I don't remember what Dark looks like at all because I have PTSD from Dark. So
Yeah, I believe you called Cheryl and I both psychopaths
Mhm.
for enjoying those activities.
yeah, I stand by that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because I'm just still not over the time I did the Goratorium by accident. I'll just never emotionally recover. The Goratorium of all the haunted houses I did, best production value.
Mhm.
Yeah. But they went out of business, so it was too good.
I suppose the other way of looking at it is like a thing like Dark or Deadmonton. Well, Deadmonton's a little different, but like Dark, the fort is already creepy enough as is. A lot of the stuff
Yeah.
is already there. So like the decor to be added on top of that is going to be less than a nursery or a greenhouse.
Mhm.
I would go if I could just go for the front part. Like, it's fun to walk around the front part. I just don't want to do the haunted houses.
Yeah.
Do they have less scary haunted houses for Dark?
They used to have I think they used to have a child-friendly time
Mm.
similar to Kiwi's nursery, but I don't think it was popular enough for them to continue it.
How do you think our city ranks in terms of, like, do other cities have this many haunted houses? I feel like we have a lot of haunted houses.
So it depends on the size of the city. Are you comparing like our size of the city with where?
I don't know, just other cities.
Because like I've done the haunted fort in Lethbridge, like Fort Whoop-Up does a haunted thing, and their fort is quite a bit smaller than Fort Edmonton, and so that was the only option for that. But Lethbridge is also quite a bit smaller of a city.
How many does Calgary have?
Ooh.
They had Scream
Yeah.
Fest.
They have Screamfest, they have Haunted Calgary, I think they have Field of Screams,
Mhm.
and I think their amusement...
Field of Scream?
Field of Screams.
Field of Scream.
This came up in conversation because I've done a mix of both. I fucking hate an outside haunted house.
Yeah.
I'm not about it. I'd rather an inside haunted house.
Fair.
Yeah. Are you an inside or an outside guy?
It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
I've done both. I do find it's more about how they portray that ambiance. So if they're better at portraying an ambiance inside, then I prefer the inside. But if
Mhm.
they're better at doing in the outside, I like the outside. So it's just kind of a...
I just feel like there's too much danger outside. It's like endless danger.
When Cheryl and I went to Ottawa, we took a trip to the Saunders Haunted
Mhm.
Farm,
Mm-hmm.
and they take you on a tractor ride and they pull you through the forest in these dark trails that have no lights.
Mm-hmm.
And every so often you come across a like a little diorama they set up where people act like horrible monsters.
Yeah, it was fun. And they
Horrible monsters.
Yeah, so they had one that was clown themed. They had one that was like random like slasher themed. They had
It's like imagine driving about 5 minutes into the dark forest until you can't hear any of the noise from the rest of the event and you can't see the lights or anything, and then there's just a haunted house.
Creepy.
it was fun.
That's creepy.
Like still, because again, it used to be my touristy thing all the time, going to do creepy stuff. So the best one ever by far was Dark Harbor on the Queen Mary. And half of that was inside and half of it was outside. But it was just...
On the boat?
Yeah.
I would not like to do a boat one.
The boat is docked. It's not going anywhere.
Sydney's anti-boat.
I'm on the record as being anti-boat.
So I guess when your mom takes those sailing lessons, I'm going with her.
Is she taking sailing?
She said she wanted to take sailing
I'm
lessons.
not going sailing.
Make sure you don't carry an empty bucket through your house once she becomes a sailor.
She made me do sword fighting lessons one time too, and I was like, that's so cool. And then I got there and I was like, I can't lift heavy things. And I feel like the sailing would be a repeat of that.
I see.
Maybe that's why she didn't tell me about the sailing.
Are you more of a damsel in distress?
I'm just not helpful. Really, I'm kind of in the middle. I can help myself maybe, but I'm not I don't want to lift heavy things.
Fair.
It is fair. Thank you.
Mhm.
We all have our boundaries in this life, so.
Was there anyone with swords tonight?
There was this awful, creepy little kid.
Were they an actor or just some horrible
Just some
child?
horrible child. And he had this like faceless kind of mask on to have like a black blank face. And he had these creepy long fingers and this like bloody knife. So I'm just like standing in the line, and out of my peripheral vision, I just see like this creepy black something. And then I kind of like look down, and Elizabeth is peering like around me, and then she just snaps back and like uses me as a shield. And then I turn around, and there's like this creepy little asshole with like this bloody knife kind of just, moving it back and forth. Oh, ugh. He should have been in the haunted house. He was terrible. I don't like long fingers.
Why?
Ugh. Get out of here.
But your brother has long fingers.
Get out of here. These were like long though, like green onion long.
Okay, super, super long.
Yeah, like salad fingers, but
Okay.
black. He was a black costume.
So, Chris, I guess you're going to have to grow your fingers longer if you want to creep your sister out.
Yeah.
They sell those hand extenders on Amazon
I sure do.
where they're sort of reactive to how your hand moves. So
Oh, that's cool.
you can give yourself like 12-inch fingers that move.
What
and
would you
wrap
ever
around
need that
things.
for?
Halloween.
Pestering you now that I know.
I gave my ex like finger zombie tips like with claws one time, and he just wandered around stroking everyone's cheek at work.
Nice.
That was a good $2 spent. He got my money's worth out of that.
Yep.
So I don't begrudge other people that like a long finger, but I don't like a long finger. And I did not like that small, horrible child.
You like a nice stumpy finger.
Yeah, just stumpy little fingers. No fingers even. Just palms.
Just a club fist.
Yeah. And then other than that, the rest of the costumes were better. There was like a tiny fire truck and some princesses and a horse.
A tiny fire truck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it like a Transformer costume?
No, it was like a little guy in a firefighter costume, and then the fire truck is like strapped over him.
Oh, cute.
Oh, suspender style.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay.
very cute.
That makes a little bit more sense.
And the tiny
Was
horse.
he scary? Was he waving a fire axe?
No, he was normal. But then a bunch of like the older children were playing like slashing each other's throats, and I didn't like it.
It's funny because, like, again, it's advertised for small children. Why would the older children? I guess if they came with their family.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah, I know all about going to little kid events.
Boo hoo. Boo hoo. Did we go to that many little kid events?
You went to we never went to any big kid events because I had 2 younger sisters.
Sorry. Well, I don't
That's
remember.
all I wanted to hear.
Did we do anything that was like decidedly for children though? That you hated?
Almost like every movie in the theater.
Listen, Troll in Central Park is the best movie that's ever been made. And I'm not sorry that you had to watch it a million times.
I would have liked it more without the troll.
The whole point is the troll and his journey to be free. So
I think he was holding the movie down.
he's the main guy. He's the main troll guy.
They could have got another troll.
It's about just being yourself. It's just about being yourself and growing them flowers. Just got off track.
I was going to say, you're not selling the movie very well. I've never seen it. And
You've never seen
No,
Troll in
I've
Central
never seen
Park?
it.
Oh my god. I got really drunk and now I own it on YouTube, so
How many times have you watched it this month?
once. Not this month. I've watched it like once since I bought it. I think I paid $15 for it.
Wow.
Yeah. But I feel like the older I get, the more I identify with the evil troll. So
I see.
that's not good, probably.
Well,
I don't think I was slowing anyone down. I think we were just going at a good pace.
Chris was not thinking you guys are going at a good pace.
Also, one of the goats I saw today had a beard. Just a good, I took photos.
So
Well
it was
done.
an older goat that's hit puberty.
I don't know its age.
Or Billy Goat.
It was just a little beardy guy.
Yeah, William goat.
William
No,
Goat.
it wasn't a William goat.
Don't you remember the story of Billy Goat Gruff?
About trolls and crossing bridges?
Sure was.
Yeah, I remember it.
Well done.
So did you guys get any free candy?
There was no candy, which did surprise me.
Yeah.
Usually there's like a little bit of candy at these things.
Mhm.
Yeah, sometimes they handed out. Cheryl and I did Pumpkins After Dark. We got some really tasty
Mhm.
Kit Kat.
They had like a concession
Halloween.
that you could like buy stuff at.
What'd you buy?
Well, we didn't buy anything because we didn't buy anything on the way in because, like, it's a haunted house. Why would I buy a hot beverage on the way in? What if I scream and spill it?
Yeah, that seems like a really poor plan. Like, what if
Yeah.
someone hucks
Right?
their coffee into some actor's face?
So, anyway, and then on the
Sydney
way
gets
out,
arrested.
I wanted to go to Jack's anyway. So, Elizabeth had to walk past all the food and candy. I was like, I swear, like, we're going to get treats, but we're getting better treats, not at this plant place. So, she was a little begrudging, but then when she got the ice cream, she was happy again.
That's good.
So it all worked out. But no, there was no candy. They just handed us those tiny flashlights, which were not even really flashlights. I thought it was going to be an actual miniature flashlight, which would have been exciting.
How heavily was Elizabeth using that little mini flashlight?
Constantly.
Was she like pointing it in like scare actors' faces?
In my face quite a few times. So
Nice.
probably should have given it to her after. But, and then she was trying to flash it all around in the car and I told her it's illegal to have a flashlight on in the car.
Ah, you guys lied to her.
Okay, I lied to her and Giselle didn't correct me. So
That's fair.
listen,
Accomplice.
Mhm.
I can lie to anyone that I want to. I'm not a parent. Giselle did not correct the lie, so
No, I'm sure she's probably used it herself. So
Mhm.
No flashlights in the car,
No, I told her it's illegal.
but you can yell at people on the street from the car.
That guy deserved it. Listen, I'm out here trying to teach my niece life lessons. If someone starts a scream fight, you fucking finish it. All right?
I hope you said it to her in that tone of voice.
I didn't.
Okay.
Because she's 7. But now she knows how to finish a scream fight.
Hmm. By rolling up the window and pretending you don't hear them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is how you finish a scream fight.
I hope I catch you and her in a scream fight against each other.
Just
Trying to
rolling
see
up windows.
who's going to end it.
I wouldn't scream at a 7-year-old. I'm not a monster.
She's not going to be 7 forever.
I know, but I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, I guess they grow.
Once she turns 8.
Once you turn 8, you think we'll get in a scream fight?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give Syl 12. I think at 12.
12 is a screamy time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when parents become uncool and adults are a pain in the butt.
Hmm.
Some adults stay a pain in the butt,
Mhm.
like Chris. It's a pain in the butt.
He wasn't an adult when
I
you were
never
12.
changed.
He was an adult when I was 12.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're 6 years apart.
I guess.
You would have been 18, champ.
How old are you now?
None of your business.
Well,
Mm.
Chris
But
can
also
just do
6
the
years
math.
younger than you.
Yeah.
You're 16.7.
You think I'm 16.7?
You're 67.
67.
Yeah, because you're griping about how or late it is right now.
It is late. We're recording this at 9 o'clock at night.
It's not 9. Well, it is 9.
It
Yeah.
is 9. Why don't you believe me when I say things?
Because you say a lot of things.
Hey.
I'm going to
Sometimes
need to fact check
I
that.
sneak in some true things. True
Some-
things.
Mhm.
So, Sydney, would you recommend this event to other people?
Yeah, but I would get a hot beverage because it's not scary. So you could take a hot beverage with you.
Not worry about splashing into someone's face.
Yeah, this is a good one. This was the best one that I did of all the haunted houses.
Mm. Did you think Elizabeth enjoyed it?
She said she had fun.
Good.
Yeah, and then I said, did you have $7 worth of fun? And she said, yeah. And I said, oh, you were free, actually.
Yes.
So she did. She had fun.
Good.
She did not like the line.
No, that's fair.
Struggled with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never take her to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to Disneyland either, so
Mhm.
we don't all have to go to Disneyland.
No. I went as an adult. I didn't go as a kid, so.
Is it fun as an adult?
It's still fun. It's just not as magical as it is for children. Granted, I saw a lot of screaming and crying children there, so.
Not magical for children.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Universal Studios does it up for Halloween.
Oh, hells yes. Chris and I are going to go.
Mm-hmm.
No. Or yeah, it's Universal that has, if you go on the sidewalks, it's like they can't scare you.
Yeah, it's a safe zone.
It's a safety zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Halloween Horror Nights in Universal 3 times. Yeah.
Wow.
As I said, it was my tourist thing.
That's a fun tourist thing.
Yep. It's a fun tourist thing.
For you, that sounds horrible for me. I just don't want to be jump scared at.
I don't know if you want me to spoil how to go through those things.
I'm not going to go through them, so
Okay.
I'm fine.
If you go at the back of the line, they're more likely to jump scare you because the people who are scared usually are slower and stay at the back. They don't want to get scared. They want to stay at the back, and the actors know that.
They want to see what happens to the other people in the group.
Correct. So a lot of the times, if you're the first 2 people in the front of the line, they don't even try. They want to get the people at the back because they see you walking through and they're like, oh, well, these people aren't scared. They're clearly walking through, no problem. They want to get the person who's going to scream because that amps everyone else who's waiting in line. Yeah. So there's formulas to like how to do this to kind of, if you want more bang for your buck, if you want to be scared. And the funny thing is that like, again, the scared people don't realize what's going on because they're not paying attention to that stuff. So they always migrate to the back. So it's always those of us that aren't as scared that are at the front of the line anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is just Chris and I looking at really cool things and like cool costumes and how they did whatever. And because they don't usually jump scare the front people.
Show offs. People do love to scare me in a haunted house.
And how often are you at the back of the line?
Well, most of the ones I go in, like the Goratorium, it was just us, so
Okay.
there was no line.
Good.
And then I feel like when I did the Dark and the Edmonton, it's like, it's just like littler groups.
Yes.
So of all of our Halloween specials, Sydney, how do you feel this one stacks up to the other ones?
This is the best one because it had the most goats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even better than that weird church we stayed in? The Airbnb church?
Just a little bit, yeah. Because there wasn't goats there.
Even better than when we drove you around town and told you ghost stories and then you had to pick out which one was actually haunted?
Yeah, because there was no goats there.
She also got scared and started singing the music from Hamilton.
That's true.
No, I just played it blatantly. Like one of those weird people on the bus that just obnoxiously plays your music out loud.
You're an obnoxious person.
Hamilton was bringing me comfort at that time in my life, so. More goats. We should do more things that have goats.
Should we sign you up for that menu stare at goats things where you try and stare at a goat and see if you can stop its heart?
No, I don't want to stop a goat heart. Alive goats only.
All right.
Living goats.
You and your boundaries.
You're a boundary. Ridiculous.
So Chris and I, just a special announcement. Chris and I have decided to start another podcast and it's called Probably Cursed. You can find the social media for that, but we're also posting our first episode today on Halloween. So
Congratulations.
Thank
double
you.
hitter.
That's exciting.
Mhm.
So there's cursed things in the house now.
Well, what do you think the cabinet in our basement
Just
is?
you, Sydney.
Rude. Is the cabinet in your basement is cursed?
Well, there's stuff in there that's creepy and potentially cursed.
Love that for you.
Yeah. You can come over and see it anytime if you want.
I'm fine.
Cheryl and I go over. We have a creepy item available on an Etsy store for sale with every episode. And we also discuss a topic or event in history or object and discuss the amount of cursedness it is.
So paranormal, weird occurrences, psychic phenomenon, etc.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Mm.
You heard it here first, folks.
And because you won't listen to it, we also talk about you and say all sorts of horrible, nasty things.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
about how many children events you had to go to.
Mm-hmm.
You should hear the limericks.
Mm,
The dirty, filthy limericks.
excellent. Well, I would never. I think that insulting people with limericks is just in poor taste, and I've always said that. So,
That's the second thing you always say.
So yeah, you can find Probably Cursed anywhere you find our regular podcast and give us a listen.
Mm-hmm. Well, that takes us to the end of this very special Halloween special. I will say, if a woman screamed at you outside of a moving vehicle, her address
you
is...
fucking deserved it. That's all you need to know. Start a scream fight with me. Buckle up.
This is your host, Chris, signing off.
This is Cheryl signing off.
My name's Sydney. I did the thing. Bye.
Thanks for listening to today's very special episode of the I Went Outside Today podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, spread the joy and share us with your friends or leave a review.
If you really enjoy our podcast and you want to support us in doing more episodes, consider donating to our Patreon or leave us suggestions in the comment section on our website or social media. Or you can email us at iwentoutsidepod@gmail.com.
And make sure you follow us on our social medias. We got Twitter. We got Facebook. We don't got Snapchat because that's for creeps.
We don't have Twitter.
We don't have Twitter.
Facebook and Instagram.
We got Facebook,
Oh,
Insta.
fuck. Okay. We're not going to do it again. It's not going to be as good. Why don't we have Twitter? We got Facebook. We got Instagram. And you can see all our photos and adventures that don't get turned into episodes because every day of our life is an adventure. Bye.